Hello, folks, and welcome to another episode of Crash Course Cooking with me, Matt. Today we're making minestrone soup, and we're laying out the ingredients here. So you're going to need some green beans, a zucchini, some potatoes, some carrots, onions or shallots. I'm using shallots today. Some white beans, Catalini beans, or Great Northern beans, depending on how you're calling it. A couple cloves of garlic, some broth, and of course, some delicious pasta. Also some red pepper flake if you feel like making it a little spicy. So we're gonna prep all these veggies and just give everything a real quick chop. We're gonna go and just real rough. You can appreciate my knife skills at the moment. For the green beans, cut off the tips, cut them in half. Potatoes, quarters, and then eighths, and then sixteenths. Zucchinis, just give them chop. Okay, first up, put it on low heat. Now, we're gonna put some oil in that pan, the pot. Okay, once that oil's nice and hot, throw in your onions or shallots. Today I'm using shallots. Nice. Gonna let those cook until they turn translucent. Give that about a minute until the onions or shallots turn nice and translucent. Now we're gonna toss in our garlic. And same rules apply. We're gonna throw it in until you can start smelling the garlic and start seeing those little pieces of garlic start to turn translucent. Now, we wanna watch out and make sure we don't burn the garlic. That's why we have it on low heat. So nothing's worse than crispy burned garlic in your soup. Next, we're adding our tomato paste. Tomato paste is condensed, cooked down tomatoes that give a really a lot of flavor in a little amount. So we're gonna throw this in. Now I made my own this summer with tomatoes I grew in my garden, but you could buy it in tubes at the store. Go. Now what you're gonna wanna do is stir that in to those shallots and garlic until it starts to brown. You'll start to see the oil start to integrate into the onions and stuff. The oil from the tomatoes giving it a little bit of a brown or red color. Just like that. See how it's starting to turn a little red in the onions? Give it another stir or two. Let it cook and cook. Really concentrated tomato flavor in that paste. All right, now it's time for our other veggies. We're gonna throw in our potatoes and our carrots now and cook those down. Now, potatoes and carrots obviously take a little longer than the zucchini and the green beans. So carrots. Carrots are what we call an aromatic, like onions and celery. They impart other flavors into it, give it a little bit of sweetness. The potatoes add a nice starchy texture. Add starch to the soup, and also are great. Leave the skins on. Keep cooking those potatoes down and the carrots until the carrots soften up, the potatoes soften up. Now we're ready for our zucchini. Throw in that zucchini and cook it down. Remember, low heat. And we're adding our stock. Now I used 1.5 containers for this soup, but you may want to add more. Remember, you can double up on everything in here and just make more soup. Okay, we're adding our broth. Now once that's simmered for a little bit, we're gonna add our white beans. Good Tuscan white beans. Throw them in, give them a stir lightly. Remember, you don't want to crush up the beans at the bottom of there. Let it simmer. Now, if you want to add a little heat, throw a couple shakes of red pepper flake in it. Okay, now for an important part, the pasta. You've got it cooking. Now we're gonna throw some shells in it. I'm using some gluten-free chickpea flour shells because they give you a lot of good protein, get you through the day on these cold winter days. But you can use any sort of small pasta you want. You can even use something like ziti. I always love little shells because they catch a little bit of the soup and some veggies in it. They get in a little pocket of deliciousness. Now you can tell we're almost done because we're adding the green beans. Throw in your green beans and stir them in. Now remember, you're not going to want to cook them very long. Consider it like you're blanching the green beans, but not really. Just a real quick amount of time in the soup, and we're almost ready to serve. Okay, so we've got some Parmigiano Reggiano, we've got some olive oil, we've got our minestrone. So I like a big scoop with a lot of veggies and that delicious, delicious chickpea pasta. 2 big scoops, and now get some of that delicious, delicious broth. Okay, now give a little drizzle of olive oil, just a little bit. And then we're gonna shave some Parmigiano. There you go. A little extra Parmigiano. Mr. Matt loves his Parmigiano. And look at that. Delicious. A nice, warm minestrone soup for this cold winter week. I'm going to have some myself. A little stir. Make sure that cheese is all melty. Nice thing about the cheese is you don't have to add salt. And oh, that's delicious. Have a great day, everybody.